We need to talk about ZestBoyMax. If you guys don't know who this video is about, it's about that boy Plaqueboy, 5-star. Man, they've been going dog hard on my nigga Plaqueboymax, bro. We done gave him some criticism too, but at this point, I just think bro need to live his life. So let's see what this video is talking about. I hope it's not dogging him too bad, man.
What's poppin', y'all? Depending on who you ask, Plaqueboymax is currently on his diva or demon arc. I can't do the accents, or I'm not even gonna try to do the accent. I don't want y'all.
A diva, you a diva or a demon?
Laughing at me, pointing and laughing. I might cry just like Plaqueboymax did. I won't be getting a One Love tattoo though, because that's one of the new things that Plaqueboymax has done, and he's getting called out or criticized by academics for the arc that he's trying to go on right now.
Maybe this is his new arc. I ain't gonna lie. This particular video here, I
just want to point out for all my youth, blood, yada youth in the chat them. Academics is a Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? As am I. But, you know, I'm an Americanized Jamaican. I was born in the States. My roots are not watery. You know, the blood is thick. But, you know what happens to us Americans, niggas, bro. We grew up, we kind of just it's in the food, the processed food, bro. We're fried in the brain over here in America, you know what I'm saying? All that to say, I can pretty much guess what side academics is going to take on this video. He's probably not rocking with the zesty shit. That's all I'm going to say.
understand the aesthetic he's going for. Plaqueboymax, if you ask me, okay, this is why I'm keep peeking. Let me just turn this down. Plaqueboymax, if you ask me, Plaqueboymax think he Prince. He going for a Prince aesthetic.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He going for that sexually fluid, a little bit bi, you know what I mean? He loves love. And yeah, like this felt like Prince like you know what I mean? Like something that would be in the Chappelle Show when they captured Prince. So he's dropping a song called Diva. Obviously he has a tattoo of Diva on his side. And apparently he got a new tattoo like on like his finger, and it says One Love. But check this out. Tell me if this song's hot. Now y'all gonna hate me for saying this. I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this. Max, I think, is he's doing a good job of it. I'm not gonna say trying to recreate because I don't want to speak for him, but he's feeling like, remember when Thug seeming like he was going out of his way to try to be misunderstood or do these things? Except Thug, the word about Thug was that Thug was an actual gangster doing this, right? Max, people look at as a streamer. They're just looking at him as just they don't get him. But I do think he's kind of on that arc. He kind of wants y'all to be like, yeah, look at my hair, look at my wig, look at my tattoo.
That's the thing, and that's really my biggest question when it comes to Max, is like how much of this is seeking attention and how much of this is authentically who you want to be represented as. Because when I see him crying on stream, I'm just confused because I know it can get to you. I know, people talking shit on the internet. It can get harsh. Sometimes it even hurts my feelings. I'm going to be honest, bro. But when we talking about the security of who you are as a man and how you want to be represented for yourself, nobody can tell you what you can and can't do. Fine. Facts. If you want to wear wigs, do you. If you want to paint your nails, do you. If you want to wear a dress, nigga, weirdo, I'm going to drop the bomb on you. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just another opinion on the internet. It shouldn't matter. And when I see somebody breaking down, crying on stream, it just makes me think, are you comfortable portraying who you are trying to portray? You know what I'm saying? Are you still confused? Are you still trying to figure it out? Are you still not really sure? So when somebody kind of points it out, you feel the need to feel a little bit insecure, because it's like, again, if I'm moving around how I'm moving, you can't tell me shit. I might snap back at you depending on, what mood I am in that day. We all wake up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes. I might be a little bit more emotional today than I am tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not crying on stream, gang. I don't know. That's the part where it's just like, now I'm just like, is Max playing a character that he not really is for real? Or is this the real Max and he's just tired of everybody dogging on him? That's the part that I'm just a little bit confused on.
Tattoo, look at my, and he's committing to it. He's getting actual tattoos. He's wearing provocative clothing.
I'm in agreement with what Academics is talking about here, although there is a distinction to be made in that Plaqueboymax is making it very clear that he's with that rainbow stuff. He's like, I mess with that. What's wrong with that? He's hanging out with that wardrobe guy. He's buddy with him. He's really open to that lifestyle or being around that. Young Thug, while he was moving, you know how he was moving, dresses, boo, lover, blowing kisses, all of that. He was very disturbed. And one of the things that separated him from Rich Homie Quan was Rich Homie Quan had, I think that this is what severed their relationship permanently. Rich Homie Quan said that he had to leave Young Thug because he was moving to Rainbow for him. And Young Thug got insulted by that personally from Rich Homie Quan. And since then, they didn't mess with each other at all, never recovered. Their relationship never recovered. So clearly.
Shame too. Thug and Quan, that was prime music. Some of y'all niggas don't know nothing about that, man. But deep in the night, and the big day for some in the night, she got a hit I like her. Move on, bubble back. Hey, hold on, let me chill, man. You don't know nothing about that Thug and Quan, man. Prime.
Young Thug is
R.I.P. Quan, man. R.I.P. Big Quan.
Very bothered by that. And when he did the infamous interview with Big Bank, he said the two worst things you could be is either a rat or Rainbow. I don't think that's something that Plaqueboymax would agree with. So there's an important distinction to make between these two in that regard. Now, when we talk about like Prince, I don't think, let's take a look at Tyler, the Creator, for instance. Tyler, the Creator, was on Hypebeast forums. He was paying attention. He knows in depth of writers, and he's got a deep knowledge of music history, why artists did a certain thing. And with Plaqueboymax, I think he's love thing, right? Like he got this One Love tat. The song that he previewed, I
think I skipped forward, bro. My bad, chat.
Said the two words Max would agree with. I don't think of writers, and he's got a deep knowledge of music history, why artists did a certain thing. And with Plaqueboymax, I think he's just surface level, to be honest. And I do think he's open to like the whole One Love thing, right? Like he got this One Love tat. The song that he previewed, I don't think it's bad. I think it's a good idea that he went with the Diva song. There's so much attention around it. The song is, I mean, it's not bad. Plaqueboymax doesn't make bad music, but would I say like Plaqueboymax makes great music? Not really. And there is that contrast and distinction between Thug being a gangster. That's what makes it so fascinating. It's like, yo, Thug is a gangster. This guy's a blood. He's throwing that up, bees, all that other stuff, barter six, and he's getting into shootouts allegedly. Like he's rolling with Birdman. He's getting into, his homies are getting into shootouts with Young Thug because he was beefing with Young Thug. So there's that contrast. With Plaqueboymax, there isn't much contrast. It's like, yeah, you're a young guy, you're a streamer, and you're doing zesty stuff. Like what's so special about that?
Yeah, we've seen that before.
If he went, I would say the contrast for a Plaqueboymax would be if he went like on some devil worshipping stuff, right? Which it is a tired trope, but it constantly works. Like when
what the fuck? Crazy ass suggestion you sent.
Not Lil Uzi Vert. When Juice WRLD was doing it, he just had a couple of candles lit for a music video and people were losing their minds. But that was 2018. Oh, what was a more recent event? Something like that. I can't really think of too much. Like you've got the Ken Carsons and that ilk. But yeah, I don't really think it, I think it still hits depending on where you go with it. But yeah, so that would be more contrast than Plaqueboymax, because Plaqueboymax being a regular streamer and him, I don't know, like being into zesty stuff, it doesn't hit like that. But one thing that academics would talk about next is something that I would actually disagree with.
I think this is the aesthetic that he hopes to accomplish. The only thing I'll tell Max is this. Max, and I've seen, you know, obviously the moment with you and the OJ Suave guy. Remember when Thug did all this? While a lot of people still consider him as a genius, a lot of people said that he was like really ahead of his time. Young Thug didn't really get a lot of love from the LGBTQ community. Here's the reason why. Young Thug was clearly not homosexual. And the thing with when you start flirting with this idea of you're sexually fluid, this and third, that community is not stupid. They're not just here to support the idea. They want to support the person. So if you're not Lil Nas X, you're not Saucy Santana, you're not Frank Ocean or someone else who's actually going to be, yes, I am a member of this community, all you're going to do is get rage. It's like rage baiting the straight community because we're like, what the are you doing? Why you got diva tatted? Diva? You are diva? You are demon. It's like,
diva, demon. Which one is it? How way I say? How way I say? Box it out, boy. Rump with me, man.
You're going to get that. But you're not going to get genuine support from a community that actually, like, we're in 2026. Gay people don't care that you're trying to, like, open up people's minds, pause, by saying that, hey, love is love. They care about gay people at this point. So if you're not gay, which Max continually has denied being a part of that community at all, that community will not support him. So what's going to end up...
I don't think they won't not support him, though. Like, I'm not mad at the point that Academics is saying here. It's just more like, I just also think that it's kind of not all the way true. Like, I think people will also support him for, you know, showing love, though. He's like, yeah, I'm not gay, but I fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with being gay? So, you know, I think anybody that's, you know, pushing positivity is going to support that. So I'm not necessarily sure if they're like I don't even think they're going to be mad. I mean, I think Max visually is trying to push the Prince persona, but I think verbally and like morally, he's also just trying to push like, bro, I don't care what people are. People are people. And, you know, honestly, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think it's like, I think it lies more in Plax trying to get attention rather than trying to appeal to that audience. Like, I feel like it's more like, I'm going to do this quote unquote edgy thing that's going to cause up some controversy, you know, so it's eyes on me, rather than he's trying to get that audience. Because I don't think he even makes content or music that just appeals to that audience. So what would be the goal to just get that audience for shits and giggles? But then again, I don't know. Like, at this point, it's like, we're getting into very nitty gritty, very calculated conversation. Are these niggas even moving that calculated, or is it all surface level?
Happening is that he's just going to rage bait the straight community, and that's going to be maybe like clickable stuff, like he's going to get mad comments. But in reality, there is no extra support. Like, you know, this idea, like if someone's actually gay, you actually do get points because you're going to get the gay community actually with you. But the gay community, it's not like 2005 anymore where it's such a taboo. They're happy for anybody who could like embody images of being homosexual or, you know, bi or whatever. They only accept members, and I don't think Max at this point is willing to say he's part of that community. So I think what he's doing now is only rage baiting straight people. However, I do think he's going for a Prince aesthetic. The difference between some of the stuff he's doing and obviously what Thug was doing back then, is knew Thug's a gangster. Knew even some of the people who would play with him, they knew Thug would pull up and slap shit out of you. Well, not actually personally, but Thug was moving like that in Atlanta. I was hearing like, oh shit, this guy's he's not to play with. So we're gonna see what happens with this. I don't think I won't sit here and rule out that this isn't Max's personality, but I will tell you that this effectiveness when it comes to promotion, it won't work as well because the LGBT community don't believe him.
The reason why I disagree with this is because a perfect example of somebody that goes against this is none other than NLE Choppa. And this is who he's really channeling. I don't know if he's consciously doing it. I do think he's going for the Prince look and the Young Thug inspiration. But if we're talking about, you guys remember the infamous performance of NLE Choppa when he was doing that Rolling Loud, when he premiered that song, Salute Me Out. That song, that hit in the rainbow community. And when he did that Paper magazine cover, that very zesty cover with a lot of like photographs.
Is he blurring this out? Was it that bad?
That hit with that audience. Now, did it hit with that audience because NLE Choppa was flirting with the fact that, you know, he was into dudes? No. It hit because the music hit. And when you hear the sound of the music that NLE Choppa was making at the time, it's music that would be played within that community. Like Plaqueboymax is making like straight rage music, and then he's adding this look to it, and it's not going to translate.
And that's kind of, wait, did I make that point? I don't know if I made that point, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
And this is why I say there's a lack of depth with a Plaqueboymax, and he is right.
Yeah, I did make that point. It's just I just feel like Plaqueboymax is not getting deep enough. Like, a lot of this stuff is surface level. Like, and don't get mad, but the music is okay. Like, you listen to Plaqueboymax music, you're like, there's some songs in there I was like, okay, this is hard, this is cool, this is alright. I'm not really fucking with this. That's my reaction to Plaqueboy music. Like, it's like, that's so surface level. So then when the controversy about all this other stuff is going on, and it's kind of like, now you're trying to drop a song around it, it's like, cool, but is that shit gonna hit? Because if it hits, it amplifies everything, and then it all starts tying together. But it just all feels surface level. And that's where I'm just like, what's your intentions, bro? Is this really the way you want to go about it?
In that, like, for example, like a Lil Nas X would get accepted, but it's also the music part of it. Like Lil Nas X
was making bangers. Y'all niggas can hate all you want. Lil Nas X was making some of the best music out at that time. I was to the point where I was just like, bro, I can't even listen to this nigga no more, because I'm over here singing his songs and I'm thinking to myself like, bruh, this nigga got a whole different agenda singing these songs. I don't want to listen to it no more, bro. This shit getting stuck in my head, my nigga. Like, bruh, Lil Nas X was making hits. Love him or hate him, the nigga was making hits. Hits that you wouldn't even want to listen to, but you still like singing it in your head. It's facts.
In making quote unquote straight, like, aggressive music, like I don't even know what to think of. I can't explain it music wise, but when you listen to a Lil Nas X, you're like, okay, I could see them messing with this. When you listen to Saucy Santana, I don't really know. I don't know Saucy Santana's music.
I don't know what that nigga's music sounds like.
No, this guy's got a Material Girl song. Like that, you're like, okay, that's for sure gonna hit. So I think it's more than just the identity, it's the type of music that's being created. And if it's going to hit with that community. And that's why I say Plaqueboymax needs to have depth to what he's doing. He doesn't have depth. Like the guy recently said he just came back from Streamer University and he's like, yo, he hasn't smoked weed in 2 days. It's like, dog, weren't you at Streamer University talking about you hadn't smoked weed in 2 days again? It's like, what the hell's going on? So this guy's not going to quit the weed. Not saying he has to or anything, but clearly it's something important to him. He's not going to give it up. This guy's just surface level with everything. Like, he needs to, if he's trying to actually get a broader community and wants to tap into that, for what reason, I don't know. He doesn't need to. But if he wants to do that, this guy's got to start listening to that music. He's got to go like, yo, what music are y'all playing? What are the DJs that play at their events? What are they playing? Look at that, listen to that, see what that sound is. Like, go listen to some art pop, man. Listen to some Lady Gaga. Listen to some 2013. Well, really, you could go back to 2008, but that's a little bit dated. But listen to some art pop. Art pop is just such a great album overall. But listen to something like that. Listen to music. Listen to that NLE Choppa album that he dropped in that era. Pay attention to that and then tap into that. You can't just throw on an image and then keep the music the same and think it's gonna work. And this is why I said Plaqueboymax can be good at a lot of things, but he will never be great at any of them, because you need the time to dive in and get deeper into these topics. And like I said, depth doesn't mean lyricism. Depth means, for example, a Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator, when he created that whole world.
Or even Travis Scott to a degree. Travis Scott is not lyrical. You listen to Travis Scott music, it's very surface level from a lyrical standpoint. But then when you listen into it from a like just sonically standpoint, it's like he's building a whole universe throughout the music. So, you know, there's different pockets you can get into when it starts to talk about depth.
Or damn near every single album release. But when he went full on I believe it was Igor. I think it was Igor. He had the wig on. He had that suit on. He would walk around everywhere with that. And then I think when there was Call Me If You Get Lost. I don't know if this was the same era, but there was Call Me If You Get Lost where he's everywhere with the briefcase. So there's a depth. There's a lot of thinking that goes into the planning of the rollout, the universe that he's creating around it.
But the thing, and this is the problem with a lot of content creators, I'm not even gonna go say streamers, but a lot of content creators in general, everybody is surface level. Copy and paste, lazy, no work ethic. It's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And again, it works. You know, it's not necessary. I'm not complaining. You know, I'm part of the community. You know, like I understand the show up, get the reps in. It's a little bit repetitious, but it works. And, you know, it's entertaining here and there. But that's what separates the good from the great. Tyler, the Creator, is the type of content, the type of artist, the level of discipline and precision and intention that you have to go into projects to like do it like this, or like The Weeknd, when you're just a character. You drop an album and you are a character for the season of this entire album. It's a completely different level. And again, we're talking about Max here, so I'm not trying to like, you know, be too hard on him, but he's shown time and time again, it's like he don't got that discipline. Super impulsive, you know, super, oh, I have the idea, I got to get it done. Oh, I'm having this problem, let me cut my balls off. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, again, bro, every man, he's entitled to do whatever the fuck he wants. Do I lose sleep over it? No. Should you lose sleep over it? No. But if we're going to talk about it and, you know, give some criticism, it's like, you're kind of half-stepping. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be all in. And that doesn't mean you gotta sacrifice something to get the other thing. But, you know, you say you want to be a big artist. You say you want to do big, spectacular things in the music industry. Take that time. Build that skill. Show some growth. You know, how many projects has Plaqueboymax put out over the last couple of years? Has there been that much growth musically? I'm listening, and I honestly can't say there is, bro. But that's my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think.
Performances that happen around it versus Plaqueboymax, it's like this guy's just doing try-on hauls. It's like, okay, I got this wig now, I'm switching up to this wig. Oh, now I've got like this new music video. Now I've got this new tattoo. And it's just novelty, surface level stuff where there's no thought being put behind it versus, oh, what's going to get a bunch of attention right now? And that's not going to build the long-term fan base, which is why I say again, if he wants to focus on this music stuff, he's got to have somebody with him that's like a very talented creative director that can create this world for him that he trusts. And he's like, okay, I'm just gonna do exactly as you say, because that's gonna take a lot of time and that person can do that. Or he's going to have to devote more time to that and less time to streaming and planning and doing whatever else the hell he's doing. Because even with an NLE Choppa, like we said, like there was depth to that era of NLE Choppa, like the type of music, the performances that he was doing, the covers and the magazines that he was getting involved with, the photos that he was taking, all of that was an era of NLE Choppa. And then you move on to the next. This is why I think like NLE Choppa is a very, very, very talented artist. We're talking about music videos, and like I said, creating these worlds for different eras of his career, which Tyler the Creator is one of the best at. But also when you talk about Utopia, like the release of Utopia, you had those briefcases that he was going around everywhere with. Plaqueboymax, we're just seeing, we don't even know. They're talking about Diva, Demon. He got a tattoo. An impulsive decision, mind you. He even says like, oh, he was just high and he got a tattoo. And he was probably just high and he got a One Love tattoo. Like a tattoo to the ode to the moment he cried when a grown man said, are you a diva or a demon? And you feel insulted. I would feel, personally, I feel insulted sometimes where I'm like, does this guy really think, I feel insulted for other people. It's like, does this guy really think this is going to work? Zero depth, just shallow surface level stuff. And it's gotten him quite far right now, but it's not going to carry you over the long term. You're just going to have.
I don't even think it's gotten him quite far. I feel like the most authentic version of Max is when he was only focused on streaming. Now that he's kind of trying to push the music aesthetics, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him trying to push the music aesthetics, but that's where he started to kind of experiment into this new persona that is just kind of surface level. Like,
Keep cycling new novel.
But if you think about like Max before all this, he was getting lots of praise, and everybody's talking about, yo, Plaqueboy pull up to the in the stew with Plaqueboymax, and like everybody was fucking with him with that, you know. And again, I congratulate anybody that take a risk on themselves to make some change. And I think that's what he's trying to do. And you know, as we give this commentary, we're in the moment of him trying to figure it out. So maybe in a few months, however long, he does figure it out and he does lock in and he does take a different direction. You know, it's easy for us to point out and nitpick while he's adjusting and tweaking and but it is what it is though. You know, you can't post shit publicly and then think that nobody's going to criticize you either. That's what this is.
Thing after a new novel thing. And people like Tyler, the Creator, for instance, they switch it up, but it's after you've done 2 to 3 years. It's like a couple of seasons of a show, and then you move on to the next one. Whereas with Plaqueboymax, it's like 2 to 3 days, and then there's a new wig, and then there's a new style. There's nothing really consistent. Like when you look at Prince, there were eras of Prince's career where he was moving a different way, making different type of music, and then, you know, there was the whole era where he switched up his name. But Plaqueboymax, I think he's just like, yo, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fire. That's like aura. Let me just like grab a little bit of that without understanding why, how long it took to come up with it, and how long it lasted. And that is really the problem. More of like an attention span problem than anything else. So if Plaqueboymax made the appropriate type of music and made things like more thoughtful, I do think he would be hitting that audience. Which, why do you want to hit that audience in the first place? That's the question that I have. Because I don't think Plaqueboymax has an answer for that. I think he's just like, well, you know, it's like One Love. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? You haven't even captured the hip hop audience, which you are so much closer to, and you're trying to jump all the way over and leap to a different audience. It's like, dog, how about you dominate where you're at currently and then you go somewhere else? How about you get a smash hit first where you've already had success before, within the rules that you're bound by in this realm, before going over somewhere else? But hey, man.
Yeah, again, bro, it's no discipline, bro. These niggas don't got no fucking discipline. But again, I wish the best for niggas. It's just, we see what's going on. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Obviously, I want to see Max succeed. I think he's dope, man. I think he's doing dope things. But if we are gonna nitpick on whatever the fuck he got going on, he's gotta lock in, bro. And the crazy thing is, bro, he's rich. He's like beyond rich. He's got all the resources he could ever need to world build and do whatever the hell it is he needs to do. It just probably would take some sitting down and planning. You know, I think too much, like, niggas' attention spans are so fried to the point it's like you got all these resources to make something dope and hone in on your skill, but it's all just, let me get high, let me do it real quick, no thought, boom, on to the next. I don't know, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name is Berto.
Where you at, Berto?
Where you at, family? I'm gone.